Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. There are a number of outstanding suspects with arrest warrants for homicides in Toronto. The Homicide Cold Case Unit is renewing efforts to locate these individuals. In the coming weeks and months, further details will be released to the media in an effort to gain information that will lead to their arrests. These are solved cases where the offender has been able to avoid arrest for far too long. We are seeking the assistance of the community to come forward to assist in locating these individuals that are wanted for serious crimes in relation to the homicides that have happened within the City of Toronto. The families of these victims deserve nothing less. That being said, today we are here today to discuss on the anniversary of the murder of Jayesh Prajapati, the arrest warrant for Mr. Maxwell Tutiven. He is the person who we allege is responsible for this murder. We have been unable to capture him, and he has remained a free man for the last 3 years. The time has come for that to end. The details of the allegation are as follows. Homicide 38, 2012. On September 15th, 2012, the Toronto Police investigated the death of a Shell gas station employee, Jayesh Prajapati. Prajapati was struck by a male that was stealing gasoline from the gas station located at 850 Roselawn Avenue in Toronto. Witnesses from the scene and a review of the surveillance video describe a sport utility vehicle entering the gas station at approximately 9 p.m. in the evening. The driver of the vehicle then exited the vehicle, filled up his truck with gasoline and a number of portable gas containers. The driver made no attempt to pay for the gasoline. At this time, the lone employee, Mr. Jayesh Prajapati, exited the store and stood in front of the truck, waving his arms in the air in front of him in an attempt to have the driver stop. The driver then accelerated at the employee, running him down and dragging him down the street. He then fled the scene, making no attempt to stop. Max Edwin Tutiven was identified as the suspect driving the vehicle. 2 days later, on September 17th, a warrant was issued for the arrest of Max Tutiven for the offense of second-degree murder. There are also several other outstanding warrants of arrest for Mr. Tutiven within Toronto and in Quebec. Despite efforts to locate Mr. Tutiven, he has been able to avoid authorities and is currently still on the run from multiple police jurisdictions. We know that money is a motivator. Mark Saunders, the Chief of Police, has authorized up to $25,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of Tutiven. I am hoping that this will prompt someone to come forward with the information we need to find him. The information has to lead directly to the arrest of the individual. And if you know where Mr. Tutiven is, you can call us, provide us that information, and if he is captured as a result, you are eligible for up to $25,000. Imagine that. You can make that amount of cash with a simple phone call to the police. We know that there are people out there that know where Max is. Anyone that is identified as assisting Tutiven in evading arrest will also be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and may be subject to charges in relation to accessory after the fact to murder. This case was all over the media back in 2012. Anybody that knows Tutiven knows that he is wanted for this murder. Investigators currently believe that Tutiven is still in Canada, possibly in Western Canada or more likely in the Montreal or Quebec area. Wherever he is in Canada, or even in another country, we know he has ties to Ecuador. We will not stop looking for him. Friends, family, associates, be on notice. If you know where he is and you're assisting him in any way, you too will be held accountable. We extended the invitation to the Tutiven family to attend this press conference and encouraged Max to turn himself in. They did not wish to attend in person, but they did want to convey a message directly to Max. From his brother, this is his message. Max, your mother is very, very sick and wants to be able to see you before it is too late. Turn yourself in so you can be in contact with your mother and see her. She is upset and crying about this every day. Your family wants this to end. Max Edwin Tutiven is described as a 42-year-old white male with a dark complexion, 165 centimeters tall, with a heavy, overweight build. He has brown eyes, and at the time of the offense, he was sporting a beard and mustache with short, dark hair, as you can see in the pictures before us. The vehicle that was used in this homicide is still outstanding. We believe it to be a 2000 to 2003 silver four-door Isuzu Rodeo. The vehicle may have been stolen, or it may belong to an associate or someone known to Tutiven. Anyone that has information about this vehicle is also asked to contact the police. A little bit about the victim. Jayesh Prajapati came to Canada with his wife and son in 2006 from India. Prior to coming to Canada, Mr. Prajapati had earned a master's degree in chemistry. Since arriving in Canada, he was seeking employment in his field of expertise. Unfortunately, the job hunt for him was not successful in that area, and he maintained a job working at the Shell gas station to support his family. Here today is his wife and his son that would like to see nothing less than Mr. Tutiven in custody. I am asking for the public's assistance, if anyone knows the whereabouts of Max Tutiven, to immediately call the police or Crime Stoppers. Max, your days are numbered. Avoid further complications for yourself, your family, and your friends, and do the right thing and turn yourself in. Call the Homicide Squad at 416-808-7400 with any information. Also, anyone using social media, we would like them to please forward on the information contained in this press conference using hashtag #TurnMaxIn. And it's on the bulletin, and also before us is the pictures of Mr. Jayesh Prajapati and his family. If there are any questions, I'd take those now.
How unprecedented is it that there's a reward for information leading to his arrest and not necessarily the conviction?
Well, typically when we post rewards, we have done it many times in the past, asking for information leading to information on a murder that remains unsolved. In this particular case, the murder has been solved and we know who is responsible, but the offender has not been taken into custody yet. We've done extensive investigations trying to get Mr. Tutiven in custody, and unfortunately we have yet to be successful with that. So we've taken the step, and the chief has authorized this reward to bring him into custody. It's not the typical reward that we normally ask for when we're asking people to come to court and testify in relation to evidence. This is simply to find this person and get him into custody and bring him before the courts.
Have you gotten a lot of tips since this happened in the past 3 years?
There have been tips through Crime Stoppers and other community members that have called in. Unfortunately, the sightings and or those tips have not led to his arrest, obviously, why we're here today.
You said Tutiven's wanted in other jurisdictions. What sort of crimes do you want it for?
They're all related to similar property related crimes, gas thefts, vehicles, license plates, that sort of thing.
You talked again about this reward idea. How often is Toronto Police authorizing rewards where the reward isn't coming from, say, the family or some other agency outside, like a banking association? How often is police the agency that's fronting the money?
Well, it's up to the individual investigators to request rewards on certain cases, and we use it on cases where we have no information, where we believe it may advance the investigation by offering the reward and act as a motivator for people when all else has failed. We have issued many rewards in the past seeking evidence and seeking information leading to the identity of persons responsible. This is one of those times where we've asked for a reward, requested for a reward, leading for the arrest of the person responsible. We already know he did it, or it's alleged that he did it, and we want to bring him before the courts.
Can you give me a sense of how often you take this sort of step?
In cases where they're unsolved, I can't give you a number off the top of my head, but there's many rewards out there that are outstanding. The rewards expire after a year and have to be renewed. So they come and go depending on the investigative stages that we're in during any point in any one investigation. So I can't give you an accurate number today, right now.
Can you tell us too about where you are in trying to figure out? You named a couple possible locations where Max might be, but they're kind of far flung across the country, and you mentioned the possibility that he's left. How have you been led to, believe that he might be in any one of those 3 spots?
Well, these are from previous contacts that we had with the family members, identifying where he has associates and where he has friends and where he has family. We know that he has family back in Ecuador. We also know that he had associates in around the border of Ontario and Quebec in the Montreal area. And we've heard information that he may have traveled to other locations across Canada. So we take those with a grain of salt. We don't know exactly where to focus at this point. That's why we're making this request and want to get this out to as many people as we can across Canada, across the province, and even into Ecuador, using social media and using these avenues that we now have. The more places we can put his picture out and get the word out that we're looking for this individual, the better chances we have of taking him into custody.
Can you give us a more in-depth glimpse into the suspect's background, previous convictions, police previous experience with him? Just saves us going through court records, things like that.
I don't have his full criminal record with me, or I haven't reviewed it in a little while. I do know that he has had previous contact with the police in similar type situations involving gas thefts and property offenses mainly. He has a history with us and with other jurisdictions.
I'm not overly familiar how this works, but can you give us an idea of the motivation that the victim had to stand in front of the truck and wave his arms? Is this, if a theft happens, is this something that gas station employees are held to, or is there any punitive measures taken against him for this? What was his motivation to put himself in harm's way that way?
Well, I think he was trying to do the right thing as a citizen, stopping a theft from taking place. Most employees of companies feel that they bear some responsibility when a crime is happening at the company that they're working at. I think that happens every day in stores everywhere with shoplifting and various crimes that occur. Mr. Prajapati took those steps. Whether or not there was any motivation for him to do that due to the company he was working for or the gas station he was working for at the time. I know there was some media coverage about that back then, and they were looking, there was a lot of attention coming politically around that as well, about making certain stances on that behavior unacceptable in the community, not to punitively damage or punitively take away from an employee when they don't stop a theft and that sort of thing. So where it stands in the realm today, I can't really tell you what politically that is, or what the state is in different companies. I think every company would have its own policy.
I have one more in that area unless anybody else wants to jump in. From a police perspective, what should have happened on the employee's part? When the victim saw that a theft was taking place, what maybe should he have done from a police perspective?
Well, of course, we always encourage people not to put themselves in harm's way. That's the last thing we want to see them do. We would encourage things like recording a license plate number, taking down a full description of the offender and what he looked like, what the clothes he was wearing, the type of vehicle, making sure the surveillance video is activated or working in good working order at the location, and that it is accessible, calling 911 right away. I don't, Mr. Prajapati took that step. He probably acted under impulse to go out and stop a theft in progress. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would do that. Unfortunate for him, the offender was wanted to get away much more than it was worth for that $100 or so of gas, and destroyed a human life as a result. Should he have done that? I'm not going to question Mr. Prajapati's actions, but there were other alternatives that could have been employed, and was it a split-second reaction on his part? It may have been, and unfortunately it cost him his life.
Do you believe he's probably using an alias now, or what do you think?
Mr. Tutiven has had a lot of different aliases over the years. For someone to go off the grid and not be known under his current name of Max Tutiven, I would suggest that he most likely is using a different name and perhaps has other identification. For the last 3 years, I don't know of any source of income for Mr. Tutiven. His family advises they're not supporting him in any way, so he's got to be obtaining funds from somewhere, whether it's legally or illegally. I don't know if he has a job somewhere under a different name. So there is that possibility he is using a different name.
You're just hoping somebody recognizes that face.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty distinct face, and his height and weight. There's no identifying tattoos that I can talk about at all, but I think he's pretty recognizable.
This is white and some.
Would you like to say anything at all? Come up.
We'll reach out, just a few words.
Please. She's very soft-spoken.
Just put that mic close.
Hi. Hello, everybody. I miss my husband and my son also. So I need justice. So anybody know? So help us. Help police and call them. I need justice because we spoil our life.
How hard has this been for your young son?
Yeah, he's also going on depression that time, and so this affects in his study also. So 2 years he take counseling, and then after a little bit he's okay, but he's missing every day his dad, and I miss my husband every day. Without his, my life is not good. We miss him too much. And every year this day, I'm so upset. Because we are good friend, and like our relation is too nice. Friends and some friends jealous us. You are so good couple. So it's too difficult. This pain has no word. Okay.